All right, and we are back. This is going to be part two of today's offering. We apologize for that. I don't know. There was some sort of an issue that was going on with the connection, so I just restarted it, and we seem to be okay. All right, again, this is the High Noon Show for Monday, the 27th. This is part two. Part two. We got kicked off. I apologize for that. Let's see. What did we talk about? We talked about Baba Vanya, who is trending. She's the clairvoyant who died in 1996, who everyone says is the Nostradamus of our times, and she had some really stupid predictions, nothing really good. Again, it's all cherry-picked. COVID kids, we talked about that. Hospitalizations among kids are up 4 times in New York City and other major cities across the country. Power outages in California and Nevada due to a snowstorm that's roaring through there. We talked about the Garland shooting. That's the big local story that we have going on here. Dwayne Johnson is also trending too. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You know why he's trending? He gave his mom a Cadillac. That's it. See what I mean? There isn't really much. There's not like, I would assume that Dwayne Johnson's mom already had a Cadillac or whatever kind of car she wanted because she's Dwayne Johnson's mom. And Dwayne Johnson is The Rock, and he's one of the most powerful and important and wealthiest stars in all of Hollywood. So I would just imagine that his mom already had a nice car that she liked. And this Christmas, Dwayne Johnson gave his mom a Cadillac, and boy, was she happy. This guy's been famous for like 30 years, right? This guy's been famous since the mid-90s. This is something that a 22-year-old first-round draft pick does. And then he takes a video of it, and it goes viral because, oh, look at the 22-year-old who finally has money giving his parents back something. That's a wonderful story. Dwayne Johnson? Dwayne Johnson giving his mom a Cadillac is trending in the top 5 of most platforms today because what? We didn't think Dwayne Johnson could afford to give his mom a Cadillac? I mean, it's a nice gesture, I suppose. On this day, 5 years ago, this is 5 years ago today. What a bummer this is. Carrie Fisher died. Remember Princess Leia? She died. She was filming some Star Wars stuff in London. She got on a plane to come back for the Christmas holidays. And she had a heart attack on the plane. Princess Leia, General Organa, or whatever the hell her name. I don't know. Her character changed names. She got different positions throughout the arc of the Star Wars canon. She was on an airplane. She had a heart attack just before landing. They rushed her off the plane, and she died like a day or two later. Well, like now, today, 5 years ago. Mark Hamill had a pretty cool little story. Mark Hamill was talking about. I'll just play this for you. See if Mark Hamill on his friend. On his 5 years ago today, Carrie Fisher died. Here's Mark Hamill talking about it. All right, here we go. Take it, Mark. Thank you, my guy. Here he goes.
Today is a day where it would be very easy to be consumed by grief. But let me tell you, when I go to sleep at night, there's never a day so far where I don't think of her. And when I think of her, and I hope you can appreciate this mental image, she's looking down from the celestial stratosphere with those big brown eyes, that sly smile on her face as she lovingly extends me the middle finger.
Bah! Get it? Because she was a hardcore
And that's how I want you to think of her. That was Carrie. Today is...
Very good. Mark Hamill. Missing his friend on this day 5 years ago. I told you a while back that I was trying to make my way through the Marvel films and the Star Wars films, all of them in order. And I just recently, over the weekend, I got to, where am I at now? On the Star Wars movies, I am at The Last Jedi. I think that was the most recent one that I watched. So I think I got one more to get through. And in The Last Jedi, I guess I'm not sure on the timeline. Is The Last Jedi the movie that Carrie Fisher was making when she died? Or is it the next one that she was making when she died? And then they had to do camera tricks to post-mortem, or posthumously edit her into the film or whatever. But in The Last Jedi, she has a scene where she dies. General Princess Leia, who is now General Gamma or whatever the hell her name is. She dies and she's like sucked out into space, and she somehow she's like a superhero now. She gets sucked out into space. She's just like a normal person. She's Princess Leia, but then suddenly she survives that and she like swims her way back to the. I kind of lost me. I'm watching this. I'm like, she can't do that. She's got to be dead, but she survived. She survived in that movie, and somehow, against all odds, everyone else who gets sucked out into the vacuum of space, they die almost instantly. They freeze like a big slab of meat in a freezer right away, and then they shatter into it. I've seen depictions of this in other space movies. Somehow she survives. She turns to frozen meat, and yet somehow fights through it, and she swims back in. I don't know. In real life, she died. In real life, she died 5 years ago today. Let's see what else is trending. See, we're already running out of things to trend. Alex Jones is trending. You know, the InfoWars crazy guy. He's trending because apparently his wife went a little apeshit over the holidays. She got herself arrested. Now, I don't know if this is his. Does he have a current wife and a crazy ex-wife? Or I don't know what the romantic flowchart is on Alex Jones. Dateline Dallas, the wife of conspiracy theorist. Yeah, that's a good way to put him. The wife of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones was arrested Christmas Eve on a domestic violence charge that the right-wing provocateur said stems from a medication imbalance. Sheriff's deputies took Erica Wolf Jones into custody and booked her into an Austin jail around 8:45 p.m. Friday evening. Jail records show the 43-year-old faces misdemeanor charges of assault, causing bodily injury to a family member, and resisting arrest. She had not received a bond as of Saturday afternoon. So he didn't bond her out. He just let his crazy wife stay in jail. It's going to be a peaceful Christmas. Alex Jones, an Austin resident and founder of the right-wing media group InfoWars, declined Saturday to say whether he'd been injured or elaborate on what had happened, beyond that he believes it was related to his wife's recent change of medication. Alex Jones, this is Rich. This is Alex Jones saying this now. Alex Jones, the guy who tortured the Sandy Hook parents, the guy who has never shown a heart or an ounce of decency in dealing with anybody else's tragedy or personal situations, a guy who is just a monster of a human being when it comes to anything that would, have him in a category of a good dude. Alex Jones says, this is a private family matter that happened on Christmas Eve, Jones told the Associated Press. I love my wife and care about her, and it appears to be some kind of medication imbalance. Oh, yeah, okay, Alex, we're all going to be decent now. Now we're all going to be decent. We're not going to ask you any more questions. We're going to give you and your lovely family time to process all of this. We're going to give you all the time you need when you want to talk about it. Oh, shut up. Jones sued this week, seeking to block subpoenas he'd been issued by the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Jones spoke at a rally in support of then-President Donald Trump that preceded the riot, and his InfoWars colleague, Owen Schroyer, was charged with crimes related to it in August. Schroyer has said he's innocent of the charges. Jones said his wife's arrest doesn't concern my politics, and that it wasn't some kind of personal, hateful thing or anything. All right, well, let's just hope that the Joneses can get their shit together. Huh? Let's hope that this doesn't roll right into 2022, because they really seem on the verge of getting all their ducks in a row. Everything seems like it's going to be smooth sailing for Alex Jones in the next couple of months. Battlestar Galactica is trending. I had to mention it. Battlestar Galactica is one of my favorite shows of all time. Battlestar Galactica is trending today. And there is no reason that it's trending. I was like, oh, cool, look at this. BSG is trending. BSG, the reboot of BSG, not the 1970s Lauren Green version. The 2000s, the mid-2000s reboot of Battlestar Galactica is, in my opinion, one of the best television series that has ever aired. And I'm not alone in that opinion. There are a lot of very important people in the world of television history who say that it is one of the most important shows that has ever aired. Battlestar Galactica, you mean the Cylons and all? Yes, I mean all of that. It was brilliant. If you like sci-fi, but for some reason you've never seen the 2000s reboot series of Battlestar Galactica, you need to jump in. And that's why it's trending. It's trending today because apparently a bunch of people have re-jumped in and are now watching Battlestar Galactica again, and they're commenting on how incredible this series is. Why didn't more people know about it? Because it was on Sci-Fi. That's why it won awards. It won like important stuff. It won critical acclaim. You look up Battlestar Galactica on Wikipedia and you'll see that it's like in the 90s with the Rotten Tomatoes and all that kind of stuff. People love it. It won Peabody Awards. Peabody Awards, of course, are given out to television shows that are not stupid. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the criteria for winning a Peabody Award. If you win a Peabody Award in television, it's because smart people decided your show isn't stupid and they're going to give you something for not being stupid. Battlestar Galactica, trending for no reason. Let's see here. News viewing. This is a big one. News viewing is way down in 2021. In 2021, there has been an erosion with legacy news and news in general. People just simply are not. You know why this is? Because we're just reading posts on Facebook. We're going off things that we see on Twitter and Instagram. That's where we're getting news from. We're not looking to, nobody trusts anything anymore. All of our legacy news infrastructure has been completely ruined over the past couple of years. Just nobody trusts it. Nobody watches CNN. Nobody watches Fox. Well, actually, people do watch Fox News. The problem is you can't trust that. But it's fun. But Fox News is fun. It's fun news. I don't care if it's not true. It's fun. They're being mean. And I like when they're being mean. The presidential election, pandemic, and racial reckoning were top stories that drove intense interest and engagement to news outlets in 2020. And to a large degree, 2021 represented the inevitable hangover. Various metrics illustrate the dwindling popularity of news content. Cable news networks were the main form of evening entertainment for millions of Americans last year. In 2021, weekday primetime viewership dropped 38% at CNN. 34% at Fox News, and 25% at MSNBC. The decline was less steep, but still significant at broadcast television evening newscasts. ABC's network news was down 12%, World News Tonight. CBS's evening news was down 14%, and NBC's nightly news was also down 14%. So nobody's watching news anymore. I always wonder about that. Like whenever I see like somebody hosting, the three networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, used to do an evening newscast every night at 5:30 p.m. You'd get the world news now. It'd be like a little half hour in between Wheel of Fortune and a Seinfeld rerun or whatever. You would get, some news. And that news person was considered the primary anchor at the network. And they made millions. That's the Cronkite shift. That's where Walter Cronkite was. They made every time they hire someone new, I'm like, well, how much is this guy making? Who the hell is watching? Who is sitting around all day? I got to get home and be in front of a TV at 5:30 so that I can get a half hour of news. That's not how people consume news anymore. So I don't know who the hell's watching this. Just people, I guess, with TVs on, right? Like when I think of my mom, you go to my mom's house, she's always got a TV on in the background, even though she's not watching it. And then you look over and you see David Muir and you're like, oh, okay. So this is a household that is, it has it on. It's not watching it, but it has it on. The Trump era saw explosive subscriber growth for some digital news sites like the New York Times and Washington Post, yet readers aren't spending as much time there. ComScore said the number of unique visitors to the Post site was down 44% in November compared to November of 2020, and down 34% at the New York Times. It's all COVID. It's just, you know what it is? It's just all the same news stories. Nobody's really interested in these anymore. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay. Retail. Booming retail is trending. Apparently, 17-year high this Christmas season. So for all the freaking out about inflation and supply chain and all of that stuff that we were all rattled up to think that we'd be eating dog this Christmas, turns out, yeah, no, not really. 17-year high in retail stores. U.S. retail sales were up 8.5% this holiday season. Let's see I'll get into some of the numbers here. Because remember, this is going to be the worst Christmas ever. Oh, thanks, Biden. Or Trump, or whoever you want to blame. U.S. consumers were in the mood to spend this holiday season with retail sales soaring 8.5% over last year. Although over last year was like the first, wasn't that like the first COVID Christmas? So you would think it would be down. So maybe it was, I don't know. U.S. consumers were in the mood to spend this holiday season with retail sales soaring 8.5% up over last year. Online sales were up 11% and in-store sales were up 8.1%. The increase, which was the strongest in 17 years, does not reflect automobile sales. Okay. What are we all living in a Lexus commercial? Nobody gets cars for Christmas. Other than Dwayne Johnson's mom. Apparently, she gets cars for Christmas. Let's see here. Consumers splurged throughout the season, said Steve Sadove, senior advisor for MasterCard and former CEO of Saks Incorporated. The boom saw apparel and department stores experiencing strong growth as shoppers sought to put their best dressed foot forward. Americans flocked to clothing, which experienced a 47.3% increase in sales. This period includes several weeks before the Omicron 19 variant spread widely across the United States. Numbers would be expected to be larger. Okay, so what they're saying is, so even though we're at a 17-year high and we were up 8.5, that shit came to a halt. As soon as the Omicron broke like 2 weeks ago, then they saw a drop-off in shopping. So, but still, imagine if the Omicron hadn't raised its ugly head. We might be looking at 8.5%. We might be up over 10%. Might be the biggest in 20 years. Who knows? Americans flocked to clothing. We talked about that. Department store sales were up 21%. Electronic products experienced 16% growth. It's been a resurgent season for retailers as consumers stocked their carts with gifts and gadgets. The study also indicated that U.S. households made their purchases earlier than in the years past, including to lock in guaranteed by Christmas delivery. All right, so there you go. So as far as, the economic depression that this Christmas was supposed to usher in, it doesn't appear that that's the case. Let's see here. Let's see what do we got. I'm already done with the stuff that I had prepared here. Chris Noth is trending again, Mr. Big from Sex and the City. Boy, as soon as I started watching Sex and the City, everything started happening with this poor guy. All right, so Chris Noth, we know about him. He's Mr. Big from Sex and the City. Over the last couple of weeks, he's been accused by numerous women of sexual assault, and they were sexual assaults. The descriptions that these women give, these are rapes. These are not, come on, no means no. Come on, no. These seem to be full-on rapey type stuff. So he has been dropped. Well, they killed him off in the Sex and the City thing. So, saying that he's no longer a member of the cast is kind of bullshit because you killed him off in the first episode of this new reboot. But he has more problems now. And this is always, you figure it comes with the territory, right? Oh, is his wife mad? That's right. He's got a wife. And he's been accused of sexually assaulting all of these women. And now apparently Chris Noth's wife, who's a beautiful woman. I mean, would you expect anything less? Wonderwall.com is taking a look back. No, that's not it. Hold on. Sorry. Chris Noth's marriage to Tara Wilson is, quote, hanging by a thread. Tara is reportedly keeping her distance from her New York-based husband, who claims the encounters with his accusers were consensual. By spending time in Los Angeles, where she's been seen without her wedding ring, Tara is upset, said a source. She just wants to protect her 2 kids. That is her number one priority, according to a spy. The duo looks so happy at the December 8th premiere of the Sex and the City reboot, and just like that. But much has changed since then. At least one of the alleged assaults took place after Chris and Tara tied the knot in 2012, while another allegedly occurred after they'd begun dating in 2001. One of his accusers has claimed the actor told her, marriage is a sham. Monogamy is not real. Meanwhile, a purported friend told the U.S. Sun of the embattled actor, they describe him, women are describing him, he's a flirt, but not a sleaze. He's no Harvey Weinstein. He may be non-monogamous. We have established that his wife didn't know about his encounters with other women. If anything, he is guilty of that. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's guilty of some other things, having read the descriptions of what went down between Chris Noth, Mr. Big, and these other women. Doesn't sound like he's just guilty of being unfaithful. But hey, we'll see how this plays out. If there are no police charges, I mean, I don't know what. I guess, this falls under what, like a statute of limitations or something. 2001, 2012. Are there limitations on sex assault in New York and Los Angeles? I don't know. But if there was a criminal investigation opened up, then they'd have something. But at this point, it just seems like I haven't heard anything about any criminal investigations being opened up into these. Just people talking. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this was interesting. Okay, so this was trending last night, and I saved it because I was worried that there wouldn't be a whole lot of stuff to talk about today. So why not? Well, this will be something we can get into. Okay, that ain't right. This is a list that is circulating. This was put out by, I don't know what magazine this is. What magazine? Some music magazine. Hold on. I got to get back to the beginning. So it's a list of the 20. Are you ready for this? This is not my wheelhouse, but what the hell, we'll go into it because Gen X forever, right? This is a list of the 20 greatest hair metal bands that are trending right now. That's how little is going on in the world. 20 greatest hair metal bands, an article that was written by, what magazine is this? I'm not even sure what magazine. Yardbarker, apparently that legacy institution of information. Yardbarker has put this out. Number 20, the number 20 greatest hair metal band of all time. Are you ready for this? Enough's Enough. Now, I'm shocked to see Enough's Enough here because I thought Enough's Enough was just basically a local band, a south side of Chicago, a local band that I used to go see when I was a kid. Enough's Enough, the pride of the Chicago South Side and the suburb of Blue Island. These psychedelic glam rockers never earned the consistent mainstream success as others on this list, but they certainly have some staying power thanks to hits like Fly High Michelle and New Thing. They were good, though. See, that's the thing with Enough's Enough. They didn't... Their music was cool. Like, it wasn't just like stupid, hey, drink that whiskey, Tommy. It wasn't just like stupid meathead hair metal. They looked like douchebag hair metal people, but their music was like complicated and their music was cool. Fly High Michelle's a great psychedelic song. That song could have come out in the 60s. Instead, they just, they wore spandex and eyeliner and teased out hair, and it came out in the 80s. Number 20, Enough's Enough. Number 19, Wasp. I don't know nothing about Wasp. Wasp just sounds like a band I wouldn't like. Slaughter is 18. Slaughter, another band. Heard of them. Don't know anything about Slaughter at 18. 17, Stryper. Stryper, the 17th best hair metal band of all time, according to Yardbarker. Weren't they Christian? Wasn't Stryper a Christian band? Ross has been waiting. Ross, you're the guy. Ross is the guy waiting for a slow news day like this where we can get into the best heavy metal hair bands of all time. Stryper is 17. 16 is Brittany Fox, spelt Britny, Fox, because they're being clever. This Philly area four-piece group might have had the biggest and highest hair of all the hair glam metal bands. Brittany Fox was relevant for just a short time in the 1980s, specifically after its self-titled 88 release, which, compared to other stuff on the scene at the time, was actually above average and more rock-oriented. All right, Brittany Fox. There you go. LA Guns comes in at 15. Now, LA Guns, they're part of the group that made up Guns N' Roses, right? Wasn't there isn't there some like story there about the Guns and Guns N' Roses come from LA Guns? LA Guns has quite the history, originally co-founded by longtime guitarist Tracy Guns. The project was ultimately put on hold when Guns and bandmates Ule Bike and Rob Gardner joined up with two LA transplants from Indiana, Axl Rose and Izzy Stradlin, to form Guns N' Roses. Guns, however, couldn't get along with Rose and split. LA Guns was revived and went on to enjoy some decent success in the 1980s and continued. So they're like the LA Guns is basically like Guns N' Roses B team. It's like some of the guys went on to be in Guns N' Roses. They took the name, whatever. Kicks. Number 14, best hair metal band of all time. Kix, K-I-X, spelt like the kid cereal. Hailing from Hagerstown, Maryland, Kix was making music and garnering a following in the early 80s. But it was not until 1988 when its release, Blow My Fuse, generated some mainstream love thanks to MTV favorites Cold Blood and Don't Close Your Eyes. No idea who Kix is. I've heard of them. I remember hearing about them, but I couldn't tell you anything. Number 13, Dokken. All right, now we're getting into some stuff. I can get into some Dokken. Dokken is good. 12, Faster Pussycat. Faster Pussycat, I don't really know much about Faster Pussycat other than they have a cover version of Carly Simon's You're So Vain that is really good. It's like a really cool version of it's all rocked up. Imagine Faster Pussycat doing You're So Vain. It's pretty good. That's all I know about Faster Pussycat coming in at 12. Number 11, Hanoi Rocks. I know that someone from Hanoi Rocks was involved in a car accident with Vince Neil. That's all I know about Hanoi Rocks. Led by flamboyant frontman Michael Monroe. This 80s Finnish band, apparently they're from Finland. Okay. Number 10. Okay, so now we're in the top 10 best hair metal bands of all time. The Vinnie Vincent Invasion comes in at number 10. Skid Row. Skid Row was fun. 18 in Life. Youth Gone Wild. Sebastian Bach. That's it. I'm out of everything I know about Skid Row. That's it. Number 8, Rat. Rat was fun. I liked Rat. Before I decided that I was not going to be into like hair metal, Rat sort of came along in the early 80s and I liked Rat. Round and Round. Are you kidding? Round and Round. Oh, come on. Rat was great. Quiet Riot, number 7. Quiet Riot was fine. Got no problem with Quiet Riot. They were fun. Come On, Feel the Noise, right? I know that was a cover, a Slade cover, but still, Quiet Riot made it its own. Warrant, number 6. I hated Warrant. Oh, my God. Warrant came around at a time when I knew exactly what I was all about musically, and it wasn't Warrant. Warrant was like Poison and Motley Crue had a baby that was like a waterhead, and that's what Warrant is. Warrant is just like the severely disabled child of Motley Crue and Poison. Number 5, Cinderella. Can I tell you something about Cinderella? Steve Kiefer, I believe, Tom Kiefer, I think is the guy's name, not Steve. Tom Kiefer. I watched Cinderella open for somebody. I don't remember who it was. I want to say maybe it was the Black Crowes in the 90s. And I was blown away by the talent of Tom Kiefer, who is the lead singer and of Cinderella. This guy, I mean, look, Cinderella. I was like, I don't care about Cinderella. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching this guy playing the piano, playing guitar, singing, running around the stage. Oh my God, I was blown. Cinderella. I put Cinderella somewhere. Cinderella will shock you. You get into a little Cinderella music, you might be like, huh, okay. What hits did they have? And I know they had a bunch of hits. I don't know. I was blown away by Cinderella. I was impressed. Happily so. Motley Crue, number 4. Boy, if not like Motley Crue comes in at number 4 on the best hair bands of all time, who's 3, 2, and 1? Let's find out. Twisted Sister comes in at number 3. Still love Dee Snider. I love Twisted Sister. Twisted Sister was sort of like an East Coast version of the Sunset Strip glam metal thing, but they predated that. Like Twisted Sister goes all the way back to the 70s. And they were scarier and weirder. They were like, Dee Snider was scary. Boy, when I first saw him at like 12 years old, I was like, oh boy, okay. Now we're doing something. The number 2 best hair band of all time, hair metal band, according to Yardbarker. Bon Jovi? Really? I don't even include Bon Jovi in this kind of music. Bon Jovi's just a rock band. Bon Jovi's just, they're just a rock band. I don't know what else to say about Bon Jovi. But I wouldn't put Bon Jovi in the same category as like Motley Crue or, I just wouldn't. They're like a different thing. I guess they're from that era. So, and they're bigger than everybody else we've named. I mean, I imagine Bon Jovi's just slightly bigger than Motley Crue, right? Who else did we name that was really big? We didn't name Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses didn't make this list, so we can't compare. So if we're talking about the biggest, the most successful of all the bands we've just mentioned, I guess it's Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi followed by Motley Crue. All right, so that's number. So here, we'll do the top 5 again. Remember, top 5. Cinderella is 5, Motley Crue is 4, Twisted Sister is 3, Bon Jovi is 2. Number 1 hair metal band of all time, Poison. Oh my God. Hey, you know what? Poison was candy ass rock and roll. It was. It was candy ass bubblegum rock and roll with a bunch of guys on stage strutting around like they're badasses. Meanwhile, they've got 2 cans of hairspray in their hair and they're wearing girls' clothes. I mean, they were ridiculous. They were an absolutely ridiculous band, Poison. That I didn't get this tough vibe that they were trying to put out there, because then everything about them was just candy ass. Everything about them was bubblegum teenage pop. And I loved them. I loved Poison, man. I'm sorry. You could not be at a backyard kegger in 1988 and a Poison song comes on. You didn't get you mad. You weren't mad at that. You were like, yeah, man, Poison. Even didn't matter. Went against everything that you stood for musically. You're half in the can in the backyard. Half in the can. That doesn't sound like a real half in the can. Anyway, Poison did not disappoint. Crowd pleaser. Jeff Glenn says, Pugs, you can't be our age without liking at least a few hair metal songs. I don't think this is about talent. This is truly about the hair. I like a few. I do. I like a few. And, I liked hair bands too. I mean, they just weren't hair metal bands. I mean, I imagine that there was quite a bit of mousse gel and hairspray that went into making The Cure look the way they looked. But that was just a little bit more of what I was into. Half in the bag. That's it, Leslie. half in the can. I don't even know where that came from. All right, so there you go. Poison. Poison is the number 1 hair metal band, and this hair metal band list is trending. All right, let's jump in. Let's see what's trending since we signed on here. And then we'll get out of here. There isn't really a whole lot going on today. The Batman is trending at number 1. The new movie, The Batman, the Bat and the Cat team up in an all-new trailer for Batman. You can watch that wherever you want. Monday Motivation is trending. Tips, quotes, and stories to motivate your Monday. We're going to pass on that. Lego Build Day. It's trending. Can't imagine somebody didn't pay to get Lego trending. Grab your bricks and show off your brilliant creations as fans around the world celebrate Lego Build Day. This is interesting. Okay, so this is something new that's popping in and trending right now. Hashtag Recast T'Challa. Recast. Marvel fans discuss whether the role of T'Challa, Black Panther, commonly known as Black Panther, should be recast for future films as it was portrayed by the late actor Chadwick Boseman. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't they recast Black Panther? There's more Black Panther movies to be made. Chadwick Boseman, I mean, what a terrible thing, right? I mean, that guy seemed wonderful in every aspect of his life, but he passed away tragically. I mean, death comes for all of us. I don't think you just stop telling Black Panther stories, right? I mean, maybe you stop for 10 years and then reintroduce it with a new guy in 10 years for a different generation. But if people are like dying for a Black Panther movie, why not just recast them? You can do that. That's not a disgrace. That's not something that's, you're not going against Chadwick Boseman. How many James Bonds have there been? How many Spider-Mans have there been? How many Batman have there been? I mean, come on. Of course you can recast. No, you can't. He's the only one. Well, I bet you the guy that owns the right to Black Panther, who is looking at all these movies on the shelf that have yet to be made, he wants to recast Chadwick Boseman. He wants to make a new Black Panther movie. And, why not? Chadwick Boseman was great. He was great. He was fantastic. What a terrific young actor. What a tragedy it was losing him in such an unexpected way. Nobody knew he was just dead one day. And it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But yeah, I mean, I would like Black Panther to go on. Let's see here. Logan Paul is trending. So that's a garbage trend. People react to content creator Logan Paul's recent epoxy resin project made with game. I don't even know what that means, but that's like some foreign language. I have no idea. Edward O. Wilson is trending. E.O. Wilson is trending. He was a U.S. naturalist dubbed the modern day Darwin. He died on Sunday at age 92 in Massachusetts. Okay. The View is trending. I wonder why The View is trending. What did they do? Ooh, what did they get into today? Is it even new? The View. Boy, that's a controversial show. The View is struggling to find a conservative replacement for Meghan McCain per political play. Well, who cares? All right, I don't care about that. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Like I said, it's a slow day, folks. I apologize for there not being anything happening news-wise. Let's go to another. All right, let's see what's happening over here. Let's see what's happening on Google Trends. See what they're getting into. Let's see what they're saying the world is talking about. The world ain't talking about nothing, as best as I can tell. All right, trending number one on Google Trends. We'll run through these really quick. Newcastle United FC. Right? See? Well, soccer. I don't care. NASA hired 24 theologians to study human reaction to aliens. We talked about this with my son the other day. We were talking about aliens and that whole thing. Human reaction to aliens is going to be a human reaction to aliens, which is kill them all. They're different. That's humanity in a nutshell. That's it. The aliens show up and we're going to start shooting at them, and they're going to put up with it for a while because, it's like when, you're about to step on a bunch of ants and you see some of them rearing up like, oh, really, little ant, you want to fight me? I mean, any alien race that can get to us is obviously far more technologically advanced than we are. We probably should welcome them with open arms and try not to piss them off. But NASA has gone out and hired 24 theologians to figure out exactly what the human reaction to the introduction of aliens is going to be. It ain't going to be good. It ain't going to be good. It will with me. I'll be like, hey, alien, come on down here. Come on. And then they'll kill me. I don't, this whole idea that just if they show up, they're showing up to enslave us. That's not a done deal. They might be, look, people have been seeing UFOs for a long time. So if we're going to go by the idea that UFOs have been watching us for a long time, we haven't done anything yet. We're like their pets. I don't know. Baltimore County has declared a state of emergency. This is all because of the COVID. The Zoe Deschanel is trending. Robert Pattinson is trending because of the new Batman trailer. Lackawanna County. Houston Rocket. There's nothing, folks. That's it. Leslie, yeah, I saw Independence Day. But those were mean aliens created for a movie. But I would be one of those people on the roof, of Independence Day holding the sign. Welcome. I would be that person. Because if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I may as well die at least knowing that I was being a good person. Welcome. And then they can, vaporize me with their lasers or whatever they have. But at least I know that I was in the right spot. They're going to get you anyway. Do you want to? Okay, so let's say the aliens do come down here. And let's say that they do decide that they're going to enslave us all and turn us into mine workers or whatever. If they decide to do that, they may as well kill me right off the bat because I don't want to go through that. Are you kidding me? I don't want to live like all of a sudden. I mean, our entire world is turned upside down. Nothing means nothing anymore. Money don't mean nothing because we got these spaceships hovering over us and they're collecting us in pens like cattle. And I don't want to live through that. No thanks. That ain't part of my plans for growing old. I'll be up on the roof with the welcome sign. Feel free to vaporize me if that's what you're going to get into. Just get it over with. Get it over with. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about it, folks. There's really nothing else. I'm struggling to find things to talk about today. Things that at least would fit the criteria of this show, which is supposed to be... What, are they going to eat me, Leslie? If we're so good to eat, how come they haven't been eating us? You know what I mean? How come this hasn't been a problem? Told by all of a sudden they're just going to decide that we're good eating. Humans are good eating. We ain't good eating. Where's my kid? Trying to look over into the game room over there, see if my kid is. Oh my gosh. You know what? Are we not even going to have... Hold on. My kid screwed up my Spotify because he was playing John Hinckley the other day. Couldn't find John Hinckley. All right, there we go. Ah, see? I've got my poetry. All right. I've got my songs to see me through. I don't know how this next week is going to go. I'll be doing shows every day here at noon. As long as I got my kid, I can't promise that I'm going to be doing Pillow Talk. We might do a Pillow Talk. We'll see. We'll definitely be doing the noon shows every day for, going over what, I don't know if there'll be full on shows. We need to get back in a place where there's news, where things are happening. And unfortunately, this week and last week were just bad, dead weeks for that kind of thing. I had a good Christmas, though. I hope you guys did too. Not doing anything for New Year's Eve. Maybe I'll do a New Year's Eve countdown. Maybe I'll do, like, oh, no, Pugs, you always say you're going to do stuff and then you don't. Yeah, but this New Year's Eve, I got nothing going on. I'll be here. It's, what is New Year's Eve going to be? Friday night? Yeah, maybe we'll see. I don't know. Trained to be the best. I am on a never-ending quest. Big Cowboys win last night, though, huh? Wasn't that fun? I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. Well, I would prefer you to force your kid to listen, Jeff Glenn. Jeff Glenn says he enjoys making his kid listen to this. I would like to get to a point where maybe your son enjoys listening to this. Maybe he finds something of worth. Instead, I'm just his dad's weird streaming friend. All right, it is. Tomorrow's another day. We'll be back with more High Noon, talking about whatever's trending. I'm just struggling. Can you tell I'm struggling today? It's like I've got all these news sources opened up in front of me. I'm like, there's just nothing. There's nothing to talk about. Ugh. Whoa. Okay, bye everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Maybe Pillow Talk. Check out the Facebook link. Check out the Twitter links and all that stuff. Pillow Talks could just pop up this week, although because I got the kid. No, Dad, can't we do this instead? And okay, so then I gotta get. You know how it is. Bear with me. Love you. See you tomorrow. High Noon. More coming tomorrow. Radio Misfits. All that stuff. Bye. The best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.